Hello, everybody, and thank you so much for spending time with me again on Interviews, where we meet the people behind the business ideas in South Africa. And today I'm very excited to be chatting to Megan. Megan, please can you tell us a little bit more about your business and why you started it?
Thank you so much, Melanie, for having me. I really appreciate the platform. So just a little bit of background of myself and also the company that I'm running at the moment. So my name is Megan, as you've already mentioned, and my company is called Travel Gem. And where it all started was I always had a love for travel and meeting people from different cultures, no matter where you find yourself on the globe. And I studied travel, and I actually finished all the way up to finishing my master's in travel and tourism because I don't know, I was just drawn to it. There's always, you always get pulled in different directions, and travel was just one of my passions that I just pursued. And in my second year of my tourism studies, we had to basically choose a destination where we were going to do our practicals. And I chose a national park in the middle of the Eastern Cape. And I left home for a couple of months and just to find myself, I think, because I was still young at the time, I was 19. And that is just where my journey started, where I was, all on my journey, I discovered hidden gems around South Africa, the wild coast, KwaZulu-Natal, game reserves, I met amazing people. So that just opened a whole different world to me. I'm always one that says that when you hear someone else's story, it just adds value, so much value to your own life. And you never take for granted the people that comes on your path, because there's something that they have that they need to share with you that will help you on your journey. And just to go back to my second year of my travel and tourism studies, the word Travel Gem, I just heard the word Travel Gem and it resonated with me. And I said, one day I want to have my own travel company. And that is when the vision was in my heart. And I was like, oh, I don't know how I'm going to do it. I don't have the finances. Where do I start, But I just held tight to that vision and to the dream that I believe God placed in my heart. And I finished my studies. I did my third year. I graduated. And then I struggled to find a job. I had a diploma in travel and tourism, but everyone wanted experience. And I worked on the ground for a couple of months at the airport, and then I applied to be a flight attendant. So as you can see, travel, it was just in my veins, and it just kept on following me. And I applied I always wanted to travel the world, and I applied to be a flight attendant, and I got the job. And then I worked as a flight attendant for 14 years, and up until recently. And while I was flying, I actually finished my studies. So I finished my degree in travel. Still don't know, don't ask me how I did it. I just know that I had the mindset just to finish what I started. So at that time, I was a full-time wife, I was a full-time student, and I was a full-time flight attendant. So I was wearing all these kind of hats, juggling it at the same time, like a woman with a passion. And I finished my degree in tourism, and then I felt, but there's more, I want to finish this. And then I pursued my master's degree, and I finished my travel and tourism master's degree in tourism and hospitality. In 2015, I graduated and I finished my master's. And all the while I was still being a flight attendant and flying from country to country. And then when I finished my master's degree, I was saying, okay, I've got all this knowledge. What do I do with it? So if you don't want to employ me, then I'm just going to employ myself, I'm going to just fire my boss and hire myself. Because when life hands you, when challenges come, you have to find your way and you have to make it work. No one is going to knock on your door and hand you $1 million or R1 million. You have to go and make it happen. And that is just the kind of attitude that I have towards life in general, whether it's business, whether it's my family, my friends, whoever I'm surrounded with, because I believe there's a higher calling for each and every one of us, and it's up to us to find out what it is. So this is me on my journey. Finished my master's, and while I was flying 3 years ago, I decided to start Travel Gem. And that vision or that dream became alive because I had the skills, I had the know-how, I had the expertise. I failed 100 times on my road, on my journey. I knew what failure feels like. And then I said, but you know what? I have to pick myself up and just do this, even though I'm not sure what the outcome will be, but let me take this leap of faith. And Travel Gem was birthed in 2017, and myself and my husband, my husband used to be an adventure guide, so he's also into travel. I actually met him when I did my in-service, my training, my practical in the Eastern Cape. I actually met him there. Can you believe it? So our journeys, our paths crossed while I was doing my travel practical. And then, yeah, so Travel Gem was birthed 2017, and I always believed in going to meet the owners of the guest houses that we included in our tours. So off we went. We traveled the entire Western Cape. We went to go meet with people and just to find out who the person is behind the business, you know. I think that is very important. I could sit behind the computer and make the bookings, but I wanted to know the story behind how they started the guest house or how they started the tour operating company. So all the people that I was partnering with, I was very intentional of building a relationship with them. And I think that was the best thing that we could have done, because our company actually grew that way. And then in the following year, I launched my tours, which was basically tours in the Western Cape, as well as the garden route, like Knysna, Plettermilk Bay, and all those places. So if you should ask me what kept me going, I would definitely say 3 P's that stood out for me. I think everything that I do, I kind of abbreviate it just so I don't forget it, you know, and also so I can encourage others, other travel companies as well, especially now in this time of crisis. I think it's important that we need to encourage and uplift one another and support one another through this crisis, because we're not an island. I always believe in a travel community and helping to support businesses, local businesses where I can. So the 3 P's that kept me going was definitely, the first one was passion. Everything that I did, I was very intentional about why am I doing this, you know? Even asking myself, is this the path I'm supposed to be on, or am I supposed to be doing or pursuing something else? So I was very intentional about when I wake up in the morning, while I was flying, while I was studying, everything that I was doing, I was very intentional about why am I doing this, you know? What is the ultimate goal? Where do I want to be? Where is this going to get me? And I think the crisis kind of woke me up. It brought everything to a standstill because I had to do some introspection. So the passion is the drive that gets me up in the morning, making me want to do, to speak to people like you know, like-minded people, to speak to fellow women entrepreneurs, you know, and to empower them as well. The second thing I would say is the people. I love speaking to people. I love hearing these stories. I love hearing where they're coming from, and also what the pain and the challenges that they went through, because I believe there's a purpose in the pain that they endured. And there's somehow it connects the dots, you know. It's almost like you find the pieces of your own puzzle as you relate to someone else. And the third P that kept me going was my all-time favorite. That is my why. That is why I wake up, is purpose. And as I collaborate with other travel companies or the owners of other travel companies, now I've actually learned a skill in lockdown. I've learned how to generate leads through LinkedIn. So like, what am I doing? So as I was collaborating with international owners of their own companies, people from Mexico, people from America, you know, women, men, it came down to one thing, and it was purpose, you know. And I think I also enjoy writing research articles because of my background in my studies. So I enjoy writing articles for companies as well. I haven't really stepped out fully into blogging. That's definitely something that I'm looking to do, but I enjoy writing articles and doing research and finding out, you know, what the purpose is of everything. And the one question that stood out for me was, what is the purpose of your business? What is the reason that you're doing what you're doing? And the answer was, we are all here to meet a need. We are all here to meet. What need are you meeting? If you don't know the purpose of the company that you are running, this is a good time to go back to the drawing board and ask the right questions. What is the purpose of Travel Gem? What is the purpose of the company that you're running, Melanie? And what good is it doing to humanity? And these are the type of questions that I was sitting with, you know. And out of Travel Gem, we are actually about to birth a social responsibility initiative. We want to give back to communities, underprivileged communities, you know, and we actually want to educate them on travel, because I know what it feels like to have an education and not being able to do anything with it. And you have to be exposed to something before you can step into it. Because when you see the picture, it kind of keeps you going. Because if you have nothing to dream about, or if you have nothing to show, it's so much more difficult to actually say, but I want to start my own business. And I come from a community that doesn't necessarily fit into, I come from a disadvantaged community. And when I look at my peers, when I look at youth and millennials, you know, I kind of see myself in them. And my mission in life is to help them and to empower them to not basically see themselves from the environment that they are staying in, but to actually to actually start dreaming again, and to actually, that desire that God has placed in them, to actually go and pursue it. And that is one of the things that I'm doing through Travel Gem. So it's more than a business. It's so much more than a business. It's just a seed that I'm using, and I'm just allowing God to use me as a vessel to be able to collaborate and partner with other people, but also to be a change agent in communities, in my community, in surrounding communities, but to use entrepreneurship to help with employment, you know. I'm in the process of employing more people, so that's job creation, you know. My company itself, Travel Gem, it's an eco-travel company, so we focus on sustainability. Sustainability can be economic sustainability, like I said, employment, interacting with the locals. So when we have foreign guests, we always try and create a meaningful experience where they don't just come on a tour, go from A to B, but they actually start interacting with the people, where it actually becomes an authentic experience. That it's a lasting memory that's left behind. So yes, you're taking pictures, but how did it make you feel? So it's so much more than a tour. Yeah.
It's interesting that you say that. I was having this conversation with somebody yesterday where I was saying, I'm trying to understand why it is that so many people will travel from place to place and just take pictures. It's a bit like speed dating. When I travel in a place, I want to be there, experience the place, experience the people, meet everybody, slow it down a bit.
Yes.
So I definitely feel that there is a need and a value in creating tours where you really meet the people who live there, and not just take those superficial little snapshots along the way of pretty places.
I agree with you. I totally agree with you. We need to slow it down, because if you have a packed itinerary, you go from one place to another, but you don't really get to experience a place. So we're very intentional about what we put in the booking. So for instance, if you do 5 wine estates in one day, that's a little bit too much. We would then rather let you do 2 wine estates, and then you at your own leisure can maybe explore the place, walk around a bit. So we try and find out what the client needs. I think that is important, because the last thing that you want is give someone a beach experience when they're not They don't necessarily like the beach. They want to go to the mountaintop. So you need to kind of meet the expectation, but the only way that you're going to meet it is if you find out what is in need, or what is the reason that they're actually traveling in the first place. So that's important.
So where do most of your customers come from?
So most of our clients is it used to be international, but now because of the borders that's obviously closed, and the pandemic shut everything down. So now we're focusing on our locals. There's so much beauty in South Africa. If you can only look at your own doorstep, you know, there's so many people that haven't even traveled to Mpumalanga. There's people that haven't even been to the West Coast. If you perhaps from Midrand or wherever. So what will it take for you to come out of you know, your usual environment, and to go and actually find out what the undiscovered jewels is in your own country? You'll be so surprised what you will discover. And there's so much value that the place that you're going to, that it will bring to you, to your family, to the people that you will be taking with you on the journey. So I think for now we just have to change our market a little bit because of the crisis. But we actually we used to only focus on the Western Cape, the Eastern Cape, and Kruger. But the good news is we're actually going to expand now, and we will be covering the whole of South Africa. So that is actually what we're going to be focusing on now, where you're actually a local tourist in your own country.
I love that, hearing a story of how your business has actually expanded during COVID. Instead of responding by shrinking, you've actually responded by growing, which is very inspiring.
Yeah, Melanie, just to give you a summary of how it came to that, I think it's mindset. Because the business is the person behind the business. So if you as the owner, if you don't invest in yourself, your business is going to suffer. So my question to you is, what have you done during the COVID? What have you done as the owner, as a CEO, as the one that's got the vision? What have you done to make sure that when the lockdown, when restrictions are lifted, do you have a plan in place? Do you have a strategy in place? Or are you still going to be sitting and waiting for things to happen? So we need to be kind of proactive instead of reactive.
Yes.
Because when you are proactive, that means that even in the crisis, you're going to look for opportunities.
Yes.
What actually happened is I found a guy on Facebook and I reached out to him. And the solution that he had, it was actually so awesome because it fitted in with what we were looking for. So he created an entire booking system where I don't no longer have to do manual bookings, but I can do everything on the system. So that is the opportunity that the crisis actually presented. But I was intentional to actually look for the opportunities. I wasn't sitting and looking at all the negatives. Oh gosh, you know, my business is closing. How am I going to survive? So I had to pull myself towards myself and be positive about it. I'm just grateful and I'm thankful that we actually have an opportunity to start building from scratch again. And I can only use this as a lesson for the way forward, you know, in our 5-year plan, in our 10-year plan. So should it happen again, that we'll be ready emotionally, mentally, because it took everyone by surprise. But it's all about your mindset and your perspective, you know, how you're going to continue with the business.
Now, here where I live in Uniondale, we have a lot of bed and breakfasts that are struggling right now. What advice would you give to bed and breakfasts that are having a difficult time right now?
I would definitely say get yourself into a network of like-minded people. So, for instance, if there's a lot of groups out there. So whether it's a Facebook group, and I don't know if WhatsApp groups will be advisable, but there's social media platforms where you can come into community. if it's anything that I've learned during the COVID is to come in community, you know, and help one another with the resources that you have. So number one, you can get yourself in a network of other accommodation establishments, and you can basically recommend clients. So if the client doesn't want to, and it's not just in Uniondale, but the surrounding areas as well. So if someone comes in, you can actually work on an STO rate or on a commission and recommend clients to one another. So that is one way, right? Another way would be to actually create, whether it's a virtual conference or whether it's create a platform, or even like this, like Zoom call, where you have meetings monthly or weekly to say how you can, what you can do to actually help one another's businesses. Whether it's you can help with the marketing. So use the resources, use what's in your hand. Use the resources that you have. Another thing I would say is for the owners of the establishments, invest in yourself. Because if you know better, then you can do better in your business. Because the more things you learn and the more skills that you equip, you can apply that to your business. So if you're not comfortable with going on live on social media, maybe it's a good time now to go and attend a free masterclass so they can teach you how to go live. If you're not comfortable to speak or to do presentations, maybe it's a good idea now to find someone to assist you with that. So use your strengths and help one another. And then the third advice I can also give is find out if there's a system in place that can give you more time to focus on what's important. Because a lot of times as owners, we micromanage. And we are busy with most of the things we're busy with is something that we could have delegated. So at this point in time, already put systems in place so that because I'm very positive, I know we're going to start picking up again, regardless of the noise, you know, because there's always a demand for travel. Because travel and tourism, it's one of the key factors that South Africa or the country, that it's a driving force behind it. So whether it's local travel, international travel, we will survive this, you know, we will come out strong on the other side. So even now, just invest in yourself so that when things start picking up again, you know exactly what it is that you need to do. And you can follow your checklist that you have already identified now as to the sequence you're going to do it and how you're going to do it. It's just going to be peace of mind for yourself. And then if you need to celebrate your small successes. We don't celebrate our small successes anymore, you know. We wait for big things to happen, but celebrate the fact that you're actually an entrepreneur and that you're actually giving back.
Yes.
Don't wait for someone to say it to you. Yes. Celebrate yourself. Celebrate the fact that you took risks. Yes. Because it's not easy.
Yes.
It's not easy. You always have a pull to go back to working for someone, but celebrate the fact that you're still standing, that you still be thankful that you're still in a position and able to create, to give a service back to meeting a need, because that's ultimately what it's about. And find out what your purpose is, and that will lead you to your success.
I love it. I love it. Thank you. Your enthusiasm is contagious.
I hope it helps someone.
I'm certain it will inspire a lot of people watching. Now, you've traveled all over the country. Which is your favorite place to visit and why?
Oh gosh, I thought you'd never ask. My top places is definitely New York.
Okay.
New York City, Times Square. I love it. Why? I love the atmosphere, the buzz, I love the atmosphere and just being there. So that is definitely on top of my list, New York City. And I know that I will be going back there. And then the second one is, I love Asia.
Okay.
I love Asia. I love the people. I can't speak the language, but I love the people. They have their own unique way of doing things, and they are so generous. Yes. So definitely Hong Kong. That is my second favorite place to go to. And then if I should choose a third, it would be Europe. I also appreciate German nationalities and from the Netherlands and all of that, because there's definitely something there that I learned from their culture during my travels as well. There's a lot of things that I've learned from them and the way they do things. They're a lot more reserved than South Africans. So you have to adapt to obviously to the cultures and everything like that. And then in general, to end it off, Accra, Ghana, Africa.
Okay.
I love jollof rice. I love the music, the fabrics and the colors, and they are my people. So there's this crazy thing that I do. Whenever I'm in another country, I identify with the culture, and I just label myself that, don't worry, we family.
Yes.
So wherever I am in the world, so it doesn't matter which country you're from. We are all from the same soil. We all celebrate one another. So I don't put labels on it to say, no, but you are from this country, I can't associate with you. No, there's always something that we can learn from one another. So those are definitely top of my list of countries I love traveling to.
I love that. And on the Travel Gems itinerary, which are the places that you think that people in our country need to see?
The garden route. All the way, starting from Swellendam, you can come from Cape Town, you can go. Swellendam is a hidden gem. Mm. It's a hidden gem. There's a lot of people that they haven't really explored it much. I would then go all the way Swellendam, Kleinbrak, definitely as well. And then I'll go through Mossel Bay, Knysna, Plettenberg Bay, Tsitsikamma. We're actually looking of going into the Wild Coast as well. So that is Coffee Bay, those type of places. So I would definitely say the most beautiful stretch of gems is the garden route. So I would definitely put that high. There's bungee jumping. It's a honeymoon haven, adventure, nature lovers. There's everything for every need and for every want, definitely on the garden route. So that would be on top of my list. Not because I met my husband there and because my husband, maybe, but yeah, I met him on that, and that's where everything started, you know. So that's my second home. It's my second home, and it's definitely a untapped jewel.
So it was your honeymoon route too?
Yes, and it still is.
And how do you
go back?
And how do you feel about the Karoo?
You know what? If someone should invite me, I would be happy to go that side. I have to see it first. But I actually told my husband, I actually want to go to the Klein Karoo, just to go and see. Cradock is also definitely on my list as well. And there's quite a few game reserves that I'd also like to look in. But definitely, I'm open to new, definitely the Karoo. So if someone is willing to invite me, and we're definitely willing to come that way.
Well, you have an invite from me. If you ever come to Uniondale, you must come pop in here. We'd love to.
Okay, invitation taken. It's recorded, so I have no way.
It's on the record, yes.
Because I'll definitely put it on my list.
Yesterday we actually took a drive into Baviaans Kloof, and on the way we saw giraffe and tortoises and white springbok and all sorts of things just from the road. It was amazing.
Oh, wow.
It was really
I'll take you up on the offer, Melanie.
You must do Baviaans Kloof.
Beautiful, beautiful.
So, Megan, you have really, really inspired me today. Thank you. Your passion for what you do clearly shines through, and your passion for entrepreneurship also shines through, which is wonderful. I love your can-do attitude. Especially in a time when I'm hearing from so many people in tourism that it's all doom and gloom. So it's wonderful to speak to somebody in your industry who has found ways to remain positive and looking forward in a positive way.
Thank you so much, Melanie. I appreciate it.
So if anybody is looking for you online, where can they find you?
So on Instagram, we are Travel Gem SA. I'm sure you'll put some links at the bottom as well. Travel Gem SA on Instagram. Yeah. On Facebook, you can find us. It's Travel Gem. Yeah. So you'll definitely find us if you type in Travel Gem. At the bottom it says Off the Beaten Track. So you'll see that is our logo. So yeah, so Facebook, and then we on Google My Business as well, if you should type it in there. And then our website is www.travelgemsa.co.za. So if they want to have a look at our website, they can also do that. Or they can feel free to contact me directly as well. If you can give the details to them. I always believe in when a client contacts us, you have to be innovative. I try and respond as soon as possible. So we definitely, we don't take that for granted. We value our clients, so we try and be on it as soon as they request a quote from us, that we try and respond to them as soon as possible. So those platforms, they more than welcome, and then also to watch out for the initiative that we will be launching with regards to introducing students and youth to travel. If they go on our website, or if they go on Facebook and Instagram, they'll be hearing a little bit more about us close to the end of the year. And then if they want to get involved, they're more than welcome to as well. And if they want more information, they can contact me as well. So you'll give my contact details, Melanie?
Absolutely. And if you want to share them now, you're welcome to.
Okay, so my contact number is 083 449 8655. And so you can contact me or send me a WhatsApp message. That should be fine as well.
Okay, that's wonderful. And I will put the information into the description of this video when I upload it.
Okay, thank you so much.
It's a huge pleasure.
Thank you once again, Melanie, and I look forward to seeing you in the near future.
Yay.
And I look forward to the new Travel Gem family that will be joining us, and that we can book tailor-made tours for them and bring travel back to its feet. So I'm so looking forward to that.
Thank you for your enthusiasm. It's been wonderful to include in interviews.
Thank you, Melanie. Thanks so much.